My freaking God, are you kidding me? So I was trying to be cheeky and change something as we were loading up the stream, and well, it didn't like it too much, so we get to go again because I do like loading my stream. I spelled load wrong. Oh my God, I tears from how hard I laughed. Uh oh. Uh oh. Is it? Okay, still doing at least that. Okay. Whew. The bar didn't work, but we should be fine now. Should be fine. Should be fine. God, I hope we're fine. I hope we are. Tisk tisk. Yeah, no, I thought I could be cheeky and quickly reposition something, and then like change scene on me, and it was like, you can't do that here. All right. Oh man, that was a chuckle. That was a legitimate chuckle I just had. I was like, you know the meme video of the guy that goes and like deletes his computer, like his desktop in the video, and then the computer just like poofs out of existence. Also, my stream manager is in loading video preview. Ruh-roh. Is Twitch okay? I don't know if Twitch is okay on my phone. Hope to try again. Stream manager. There we go. All right. Oof. That's about how my stream started off on. Was it 2? All right. So, no gamers. We're going to be building today. We're not building this model. We are building. Slide this camera a little bit. A little bit. There we go. We are building the 30-minute fantasy. Actually, get the cover of the instructions out so you can see it. I'm pretty excited for this one. We are building the 30-minute fantasy Liber Swordsman. Ooh. It will now explode because you will now explode. Don't explode, Soup Dog. Don't do it. It's not worth it. But no, we are building the 30-minute fantasy Liber Swordsman. His elemental core is fire, and he is designed to look like a gladiator or a Spartan from that part of the world. Not even. Okay. So, you know the drill. We've done a couple of these before. I'm probably going to switch to standing at some point so I can, like, do this better. But for now, we're going to be building the Liber Swordsman, and then we're doing his up armor called the Gladiator. Is this right here? So he gets even more of armor and stuff. His element core is fire, which, if you exploded, that you did. You went kaboom. In fact, yeah, no. So you know the drill with how we do this here. We're gonna put the instructions up. It's gonna be mostly in the way of my streaming stuff, so I won't be able to like see everything that goes on OBS, but the majority of it. Oh, my eye itches. Terrible time to be me. And then we're also going to make sure that Spotify's up and running. I want to make sure that Spotify is working properly. Well, anyways, sure we got Spotify in the sound overlay here. Go ahead and start listening to that, shall we? We added some new music to the playlist. I say new, but it's new to the playlist. It's not new music by any stretch of the means. But it is... It is some Destiny 2 soundtrack added in. I checked. I think we're good to use it. I don't think we're going to get hit for, like, copyright. In the show Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, what is the name of the character's fictional gang? I want to say it's the Junkyard Gang. I know my Cosby Show stuff. But yeah, so this is think it's still like the traditional silhouette. I don't think it has like a narrow silhouette like the wizard model or anything of the sort. So we're gonna go ahead and I grab my snips. My snippy snips. No, we're gonna be building today. So let's get to it, shall we, gamers? Hope you all are having a good day. My day was alright, besides the migraine I woke up with, but better on a Sunday where I'm off of work than the day where I would have to miss work to deal with it, so I'm okay with that. I grew up with a lot of Cosby stuff, especially like the Cosby Show and like the Fat Albert cartoon. But yeah, no, I get what you mean. It's very tragically unfortunate what that man ended up doing. Let's put it that way. Like, he's well within his own control to have not done it, you know? But he still chose to do it, so like still he's a POS for doing it. So there's no sympathy garnered from me for that. I have the utmost sympathy for the victims of his heinous acts, obviously, but you know, it's kind of one of those things where you're just like, well, F me then. Also, I seem to have gotten there you go, some of the gold armor. And this is like a really bright gold armor too. Like, look at how bright that is. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get to work here. Head. You know, you can say a lot about Destiny as a game, but its music has never faltered, in my opinion. I think Destiny music is some of the best gaming OST music out there. I mean, I know it's mildly controversial, Bungie nowadays is, with like their art theft stuff that they had to deal with Marathon. Like, it's totally valid not to like Bungie. I only played Destiny 2 recently because they finally introduced a weapon archetype I've been wanting forever. Because of one of the builds I use for endgame, like raids and stuff like that, it involves needing my elements to match to get the most out of it. And they finally gave me it, but it was tied to the event going on right now called Guardian Games. So it's like, you know, I'm gonna play nothing burger content for it, but it's fine. You know why it's fine? Because we get to, we got it. We got the role I was after. It's not like the perfect 10 out of 10 role, but like it's good enough to serve the purpose I need it to serve, so I'm not going to be too sad about that. What I am going to be sad about, though, is if that game does ultimately end up passing away, and like it's shut down and everything, because I do have a lot of fond memories of that game. I know it's like one of those games that not a lot of people like, but it's one of my most played games for a reason. It scratched an itch that I didn't know needed scratching, gaming wise, for a lot of my time. But it was nice to see, you know, go back and still be like, oh yeah, I can totally just do work in this game. Like I never fell off the bike, so to speak. No, there's just a lot of demand for hardware space these days with certain video games taking up as much space as they do and everything else. So it's like, yeah, no, I get why, you know, a couple 100 gig game is not prioritized in everyone's systems. Yeah. I think I asked you already, but I hope you're doing well today, everybody here. My day was mostly a slow start because, again, woke up with a migraine and it took forever to clear out. A friend is singing your ears off? That's good, I guess. Or unless they're a terrible singer. They're not a terrible singer, are they? Because if they are, then that changes things, you know? See, I have a nasty habit of singing when I'm at work. Like, there are days where I just get, like, too worked up, and I just want to, like, not worry about things. So I'll just turn on my music really loud and start singing, and I think it does annoy my coworkers a little bit, but they don't seem to mind too much. Because, like, they know that ultimately it just means that I'm, like, wanting to get stuff done. Yeah, no, he's got orange eyes. Look at how vivid this will focus. It's on the skull. I don't think it's going to focus. But yeah, no, it's got really nice, bright orange eyes. Back of your head. Boy, where's the back of your head? Just put that together. It is going to shuffle, right? Oh, I would love to sing at some point, but I don't. I need to make sure I phrase this properly. I don't have the best singing voice. I just enjoy singing, and I've never really actually sang in front of a group of people in the intent of, like, me being the main focal point of the singing. Like, I was never on a stage singing, if that makes sense, you know? I was, like, I should phrase that a bit smartly, but what I'm trying to get at is, like, I never went on stage to the express purpose of being the main singer. The church I went to would often, like, ask for groups of people to come up on stage and sing, and I would partake. Sometimes. Not all the time, though. I did work a lot of our church did church on, Saturdays. In the Garfield comic, oh, I would not know that. That's just supposed to be 88. Which is entirely possible, I guess, but I don't know. Oh, sorry. Also, I know I'm kind of just, like, cutting pieces out of here and, like, not really showing anything getting put together, but that's because I'm not putting anything together yet. I'm just cutting things out from here. Getting them ready to be put into, like, the hands right now. The hands are their hands. Now, I really do also like the darker model color for these figures. I like the dark gray versus, like, the light, almost white gray that they use for some of their models. I think it helps contrast the armor and design language of 30-minute fantasy model more so. Oh, Lord, he built... Well, hello, Boone. How you doing today, buddy? Good to see you around here. Yep, we're building the 30-minute fantasy Liber Swordsman and then the Gladiator upgrade for him. If we have enough time, if I get through this fast enough, we're going to be doing, we're going to be building the Liber Lancer one. Hey, Bob, how you doing? They're amazing kids, but I didn't like the plasma. Yeah. They just harken back to, like we've talked about before, but they just harken back to, like, the whole era of Bionicle for me in building that. So I'm cool with it. I mean, yeah, I'm falling for the scheme of, oh, hey, you know, buy our thing to build more thing to build more thing. That you need this thing in order to build this thing for, but yeah. I 100% get that, though. Oh no, hope you're doing well too, Bob. It's been a minute. Hope things have been treating you well. Yeah. I get that. Again, it's their marketing thing, you know? It's like that's what they're doing for their way to make money off of it is because, well, you can't just buy the whole kit as one. Which you can, but not right away. So it's like if you wait, then you can get the model for slightly cheaper because you waited to buy it as a bundle kit versus buying the whole thing outright. What I did forget to grab? I forgot to grab a trash bag. Oopsie-doodles. Okay, so let's go ahead and focus here. Let's get this going. Need that. See, this is why I need a second table. So I'm not just having everything on top of my keyboard and having like parse through it to find the things I need. Okay, now we're here. We'll need this one, here. So we need the neck, which is A13. I would drop at least $100 for. Yeah, that thing is looking sweet. Did you guys see the trailer for the Necro Knight? That was pretty cool. I thought it was fancy. I mean, again, it's like just a trailer designed to like sell a toy, which, again, this stuff reminds me of Bionicle. That's what Bionicle did a lot of. Like, Move Along is still a song that just lives rent-free in my head. Because of Bionicle. Yeah, we'll see if I'm gonna get those. Kind of wanting to wait a little bit more before I buy more, because I'm running out of room, as I talked about the last time I did one of these streams. I know things are looking pretty decent in the prospect of maybe having more room soon, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed about it, but we'll see. Just gotta do some paperwork this week here. We'll go from there. Some alcohol. Gonna be X has a bad case of Bionicle. Yeah? Soup, are you drinking something right now? Trying to cut out that gem core. I drink. Oh, you drink earlier. Okay. Can't blame you there, then. I thought about opening up a bottle of wine I've had now for a while today and drinking some of that while building. But with me having a migraine this morning, I'm trying not to drink alcohol and just drinking water. Also, I had a coffee because I had bought some like cold brew. So I had that when I finally got out of my malaise of my head trying to kill me. So, God didn't want me to get totally smashy one. Fair enough, gamer. Fair enough. That's a totally valid thing to say. I get it. That's how I feel about food sometimes. Although today I kind of ate like garbage. Blame my migraine for that though too. It was just after quick things to eat. So I had like some peanuts, I had some chips, and I had some leftover mac and cheese I made yesterday after work. It was alright mac and cheese, but it was still like Kraft. Yeah. Alright, maybe we got to drink a bit more moderate. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the secret to life is everything in moderation. You know, you want to be healthy, you got to do everything you do in moderation. You know, you gotta like, you can't like overdrink, you can't overeat. You can't, like, even working out too much is bad for you, realistically, because you're putting too much stress on your body, but you should still get some exercise in. You know, you should still do something physically active. Okay. We gotta get all that snipping done, so now we get to actually put this together, so notch goes this. It'll be hard to see between my fat fingers. That there. Go ahead. I want to figure out, and this is totally off subject, but because we're listening to music right now on stream, I want to figure out how to make it so that Firebot can have a skip command in it, so you guys can like change the song on Spotify. I think there's a way to do it, I just don't know how to do it. I do everything to the fullest. I don't just drink one beer, I drink 1 million beers. 1 million beers. That's crazy. That's like 999,903 too many. Die of liver failure. Yeah, you definitely would subsequently die of liver failure for that. I'm almost to the point with these models where I can just see the parts that I need to put on without actually, like, looking at them specifically. Is that a beard here? Ugh. Into 18. The notches go this way. Thank you for the alert, Kasuna. Hope you're doing well today. I don't have a fancy lurk emote yet, but maybe once the Twitch character art is done, we can start working on those. Come on, get in your hole. You want to go in your hole, right? There you go. There is also the return command too, if you ever want to return from lurking. You don't have to, obviously, it's just there's more things for you to do. But no. I hope you're doing well, bud. No, you're not gonna reply because you're lurking, but just let know the sentiment's out. The sentiment is out there for you. Why do you do that while I'm building? I'm handling very small pieces. I don't want to break anything, because then I gotta, like, go freaking order a new one, because I don't think they just order individual... They have it where you can just order individual parts. Now we take piece part and piece part, and we make them go together like so. Now you play fetch. We're gonna put his core on. It is. Ta-da! Look at how bright that shows up too. That's so nice. So nice. I should have probably checked to see if people were okay with me just cracking my knuckles live on camera. What do I need? I need... Oh, those. That's what I was after. Yes. Shoulder. The shoulder plexuses, which were underneath my snips. That's why I was looking over here. Set the snips down. There we go. Yeah, so while we're having kind of a calmer Sunday here, I do want to start planning a multiplayer night of some kind. I'm thinking doing some Helldivers, because I really want to play more Helldivers. It is Sunday today, is it not? A marvelous Sunday? Oh, I could go for ice cream right now. If I ever get lactose intolerant, you'll find me in the obituary. Marvelous Sunday time. Okay. Can't see it because it's behind my model's head, but look, there it is. Tism for that horse? Hey, we all have tisms for different things. And there's nothing wrong with having a tism, something of that nature, because it is quite elegant. But yeah, no, so back on my subject matter. I'm thinking of taking a weekend out of the month, probably towards the end of the month or the beginning of the month. We'll see what gels for people time-wise. But we'll probably, what we'll do is we'll play like a multiplayer game that's more PvE focused than PvP focused, so we can have like an easier time handling, you know, difficulty and things like that. And then it's not too graphically intensive of a game, so we can, you know, partake in some casual tomfoolery while trying to do serious objectives and things like that. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in like Helldivers, I don't have a place set up yet to do like a poll to like talk about like, oh, we should do this game or this game, you know. So you guys have any ideas? 16. I want to say it is. It does have the 2 hole sockets I need. D16 to then a right piece. The right piece? I feel like the right piece. Kind of the problem I'm running into now, because I'm like trying to build these without having to like look at the screws so much and just kind of like throw them together. What kind of PvP? Oh, that, yeah, and Team Fortress 2. But I was thinking, like, because Helldivers is kind of like still, you know, it's still a funner game. I still like it. I just haven't played it recently. So I was thinking maybe we could do a game night with that. I'm obviously open to suggestions, but there are some games that are obviously going to be more enjoyed by most than not. Put this together, torsos together. You do not have Helldivers? Okay. Well, I know you have Halo Mesh Sheaf Collection, so we could always just like mess around in there. But yeah, we'll talk shop more when the time comes for it. Because again, I don't want to like have it where it's like people don't have the game that we're playing. So I want to like give it so that everybody has a chance to join in. Whoever watches, but I'm still working on how I want that to go. I don't have anything definitive yet. Because it's like, I also want to get the Discord server done, so we have like a place to like communicate the multiplayer night. And orchestrate it so that, you know, everybody that wants to tune up and have fun can be there. You know? Like this dark red. No, it's not going to show up as well on this camera because the white balancing is slightly off, but it's so nice right there. No, it looks more orange. Right, so now, we got to get bottom build, which is B. It's not B. This one. The reason why I want to do it on like either a Saturday or Sunday mostly is because that will be a day where I know what I can plan for. So I'm specifically thinking maybe more doing it on a Saturday so I can go a little bit later into the night with people and have more time to like kind of prep it. So maybe take one of the Saturdays I am off in a month. Because at work right now, we're scheduled to work 2 of the 3 Saturdays in a month. So it's like how it's supposed to work, quote unquote, is you go 2 on, 1 off. So I work 2 Saturdays in a row, then I'm off for a Saturday. That is how it should be. That is wrong. I'm gonna build this. I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't look right. Well, because it wasn't right. So if we do go through with the idea that I have in mind for a like playing with each other night, the idea will basically mostly more or less just be we do like a 3 or 4 hour session where we just play with each other, play some sort of either like Halo custom games or like Halo little custom games, some Helldiver missions, do some. I need facing forward. It's do like some Helldivers, do some Halo custom games, maybe like a 4-player Halo 3 co-op run, firefight, and some, maybe just like us on a team versus other people, like in whatever PvP game have altogether. So, yeah, no, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I want to get the Discord server set up first before we really start pushing for it, because then it'll be easier to organize. But I'm just not having enough time myself to try to get that stuff done on top of everything else I got going on. So the hope is that we can at some point get that going and we can have fun doing that. Here you are. I needed to see. It's always a marvel to see how much you shed with your facial hair until you're like on your desk on low traffic areas. So, yeah, the Discord channel will have stuff set up too for like stream nights, for example, when we do a suggestion for the community. Oh, it does? It's not necessarily a bad choice. It's just one of those things where it's like, well, if people have it, it's one thing, but like I'm not opposed to buying things. I'm just trying to think of like things that I already have now that other people might have too. Go from there. Oh, it's money per game? That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's why I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Do you get like hats and stuff from that mode? Or like, is there any other incentive to play that mode? Outside of just, it's really fun. Never played it. Oh, okay, that's why. So there is an incentive to play it because it gives you like the better weapons for your loadouts in Team Fortress 2. Got it. What do you to the side. Almost done with this sprue. Let these out. A little bit of glass. There's something magical about how they made these stinking Halo soundtracks, dude. I know he's kind of a sour topic to talk about right now, but like Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore were on something. It's gambling, but with a game. Gotcha. Doldrums. Oh, Risk Grind 2 would be another fun game to play with a bunch of people. I know it's kind of like lobby capped at 4, but it'd be fun. Okay. Go ahead and start building this lad's arms. Yeah. I mean, we could always try to focus on ones that are, like, quote-unquote free-to-play. Like, I know Halo Infinite's multiplayer is technically free-to-play. So, like, you could do that one. The thing about it, though, is it does take a lot of room. I think it's a couple hundred gigs, I think Halo Infinite is, for its multiplayer. I mean, its campaign also is co-op, too, but that does cost money still, so... Playing the campaign multiplayer on that game would actually probably be a bit of fun. I've never actually played Halo Infinite with co-op. It's the only Halo game so far I've not done that with. Well, I guess also technically like Halo Wars 2, but I don't think Halo Wars 2 had co-op. And I've actually never even played Halo Wars 2. I never bought it. Not that it was a bad game, I just didn't want to play a RTS. I'll boo this man. What? This. No. Oh dear. Need it to be this. You could just start a live D&D campaign. I mean, I'm not a great DM. Like, I can think of counters, I can think of mechanics, but I am terrible at, like, sudden improv with characters. Like, I stick too much to a script, and if I'm thrown off my script, everything gets derailed, and I can't do anything about it. So I wouldn't be good for that. And the people that I know that would be good for that are already inundated and just swamped with D&D campaigns. I don't want to put that on them either. Kaboom. But, like, no, I get it. Like, D&D is a lot of fun. I'm just not a good DM. Because I just don't... I'm not good at the whole... Hey, let's improv something because my characters are missing the story beat that I have set up that I thought was a lot more obvious to follow versus what their interests are. You know, I'm great at writing a story, but I'm terrible at improving what that story is when things start moving beyond the scope of what I had set up for them, you know? So... There. Forearm bicep done. Cut the other ones out earlier. Yes, I did. Yeah. I would just need to, like, take the time to learn how to do more improv with storytelling to be better at it, which isn't technically something outside of the realm of possibility for me. I do follow a lot of, like, D&D content creators on YouTube, like Runesmith is a great example. I like his video style breakdowns of, like, different monsters, different things of that nature. Oh, let's go ahead and build these now. Yeah. The hope is, though, I think I would do better in somebody else's session, so to speak, than, like, host my own game. But the problem that I run into is I don't have a ton of free time for a bunch of stuff. Like, as crazy as is to say, given, like, the nature of what I'm doing right now, everything I do outside of, like, work or stream is kind of limited on the fact that I do work. Like, I work full-time. Very crazy hours, in the sense of, like, it's a full-time job, so it's only 40 hours a week realistically, but I work from 6:30 in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon every day, and I like to try to get to bed on time, so I try to get to bed before 9, so I can, like, get a decent sleep, because otherwise my head will explode with a migraine. So if I don't get decent sleep, that'll happen. I'm not trying to say this to complain, but to more so express the decision-making process with a lot of stuff. So it's like, if I have to balance certain activities against other ones, it's usually because I need to have the flexibility to still have a time to, like, get stuff done. Which is also kind of why it's, like, so hard. Like, having a schedule is kind of the part of the reason why, like, streaming has been fun to try to do, because it's something I can add in and make a new schedule for. But as you can see, I don't even make that schedule happen all the time, you know? So I can't... I'm not, like, saying that to, like, degrade or digress the situation in any way, shape, or form. but more so to communicate, like, oh yeah, by the way, this is where I'm at with, everything else going on. Go ahead and put these, I think it needs the, I'm gonna double check before I put these on. Okay, it does want the wrists and the shoulders. Okay. Is that for me? Thank you. But yeah, that's kind of the thing, is like, as much as I would love to have a D&D game or like a set time for it, I can't guarantee that I'd always be able to make it to that session, especially if it's like a bi-weekly or like a tri-weekly. I mean, once a month is one thing because I can kind of plan around it a bit better, but like something where it's like a weekly commitment is harder for me to do given how little time I have for a lot of things. And, like, I'd feel weird making a campaign session just to turn it into... Like, it wouldn't be just streaming content, so to speak, but it would feel like the sole purpose of the D&D campaign is to stream it. So then it's like, well, am I really enjoying the campaign for what it is, or am I... You know... Like, am I just going through the motions because it's what the audience wants? You know, that's kind of the thing, is, like, I still want to keep the hobby of streaming the focus of what I do, more so than trying to make it into anything more. Like, if I start treating this like a job, I'm going to stop enjoying streaming, you know? Would it be cool someday to have this as a job? Absolutely. You kidding me? I get to play with models and build and game all day and get paid to do it? Yeah, of course. What person would turn that down? But there's a level of realization that, you know, that's not something I am specifically after. What I'm after is just to have a good time and be genuine with my audience about how I feel about things and how I am about certain things, you know, and like talking about those things with you guys and sharing my general interests, you know. And again, it's nothing against the, you know, like streaming or whatever. It's more so, or like people in general that like try to make this a job. It's the fact that I'm doing it for the love of the game more so than I am wanting it to be more than that. Like, would it be cool to make money off of this, where I can like continue to invest into it and like, where'd the piece go? There it is. Did I pause the music? I did. My chest paused the music. At the end of the day, I just want to do this, have fun, be able to do it with my friends, and let them, you know, and give more attention to them than myself, because, like, I know a lot of the people I, like, stream with or do things with, they're typically the ones that are doing this more so to help supplement their income. I technically don't need to do this to supplement my income. If I really wanted to supplement my income, I would just work more overtime at work, because General Motors pays very well for what we do, ultimately. It's like, if I really wanted the money, I would just do that and get the money. But I have fun doing this, and I don't want to lose sight of that. Because I feel like the moment I lose sight of the whole point of why I started doing this in the first place is the moment where it starts affecting how you guys enjoy what I do. Because then it's like, oh, he's constantly talking about hitting subs, donos, bits, yada yada yada. Like, I could have easily... This is going to sound like massive cope, and I understand how it sounds. But it's one of those things where it's like, I could just start putting bits associated with the sound alerts, but you know what? They're still free, because to me, that's kind of part of the fun of being a streamer, is letting your audience engage with you in those ways, you know? Things like that. You know, like, the sound alerts are free, except for the text-to-speech one that's locked behind a sub, technically. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's more so locked behind a sub because it's a way to help filter out people that could do something to offend my audience members, you know? it gets to the point where I do get like somebody dropping an Amazon Prime sub to fuss with the TTS and do things where it's like not savory for the audience, then yeah, I'll have to put a bit price on it. And that hinders those that do enjoy using that. So it's like, it's a balancing act, you know? You want to make sure that you keep the people that you hang around safe and secure and not worry about somebody taking advantage of something or whatever have you. But yeah, no, I know it's also one of those conversation topics where it's like you'll get people that will talk like this, but secretly they're like, man, if I could coax more money out of my audience and grow and yada yada yada, because like, again, this is just the hobby for me. It's not like I need the money from this to do anything. It would be cool. It would be very, very cool. But that money would go directly back into, like, the quality of the streams you have, or, hell, even if you guys need something, treat it like a community chest to, like, hey, somebody needs a new headset. Let's pitch in and get this guy a new headset. Or, hey, this guy's mouse died for his PC. Let's go ahead and I'll pitch in and buy him a new mouse, you know? That would be what I would want to use the money from this from. Or, you know, launch merch. Because to me, I do want to, like, have some cool designs made up for merchandise, you know? Like, I got a couple ideas that I think would be really, really cool. Ultimately speaking. Where's the other straight? Me looking for my friend at the bar. I hope that doesn't come off like megalomaniacal or whatever, where it's like I'm doing this for the sake of like trying to make money. I want this to be a place where people can come, have fun, engage in meaningful conversations about things, and like not worry about the outside world for a little bit, you know, have an escape from it. Because like we got enough going on out there right now anyways, as is. We don't need to add into the struggles that everybody else has because somebody wanted to do something more than they needed to. There's a hand. This other one. Terrible about like actually building these smaller components where you guys can see them on screen. Wrong piece. This is the right piece. Go ahead and put these on. I'm gonna assume probably don't want the smaller shoulder pad on here, so I'm gonna take those off. Set them to the side. The grippy hands on here. Big grippy hands. Yeah, there. Arms are done. Go ahead and move on to legs. So we need... should probably just go ahead and build up the rest of the hands right now, so I don't lose their parts to the carelessness of my clumsiness. I don't remember the soundtrack being so ominous. You know, I added in... talked about it briefly before stream, but I added in the Destiny 2 soundtrack here for vanilla Destiny 2, and then the Warmind and Curse of Osiris DLCs. This playlist also has Risk of Rain 2 in it, Risk of Rain Returns, and the Halo soundtracks. I think I put in Reach and ODST, and then also Halo Wars in it as well today. So we got a lot more music that I'll play through here. Because like as fun as it would be just to loop Balatro soundtrack the entire time, I would go insane, so I need to change it up. Like, do you guys have that where you have games where you just play with like the music off? But like only because like you're not listening to sounds at all, you're just kind of playing it with like not even having your headset on. I feel like I'm crazy for saying that, because I do that sometimes. Full Metal Panic. The Whispered are those capable of creating black technology. It's an anime, isn't it? Wait, did you just, like, guess that? Actually dumb. Alright, so we got the hands built. All the extra hands. Go ahead and put them over here. With all the other extra parts that we don't need just yet. Let's get these legs built. But yeah, that's kind of my little rant about streaming, is I want to make sure, because people at work were asking about it, it's like, what's your end goal with it? It's like, well, if I get to where it's like, realistically, I can just pursue the dream with a chance of like getting like a merch made up, like have a successful character that people like. And those are kind of like the long-term quote-unquote goals for the streaming thing. You know, it's like if people like the character, and it seems like you guys are really enjoying the world-building streams when we do those. I have a blast writing, so that's why it's like, for me, it's nice to have that creative outlet again. To kind of just like go crazy with like this world setting we're building. Which is nice. But again, it's like, if I get to the point where it's like I just am going about one day and I see somebody in one of my like shirts of my character, I think that'd be pretty sweet. Thanks. Screws done. You go this one. Yeah, because the other thing I want to do ultimately too with this Twitch character is, because at one point we are going to be done building the world for him, right? Like we're gonna be, everything's set, everything's basic, everything's ready to go, and we can start playing in the sandbox that is the world. I would like to have it where we then go into story encounters, so to speak, where like we get to play through what happens, like multiple choice kind of style. Then we progress the story from there, but that might be after we get the channel art done for the character, more art drawn up, obviously. Because it does take time for that stuff. I need to reach out to my artist again, see how she's doing with it. I think I've plugged her website. I think you've seen it. You know, the hope is like, you know, we keep having fun here, and someday that fun might end, and that's totally okay, you know. But the hope is I get to the point where it's like, if this can take care of itself, and we can like pitch together to help people in our small community like get things that they need, whether it be like a headset, whether it be like a mouse or whatever else, you know, I want to be able to supplement and help them with those endeavors, you know. Why are these lining up? Oh, because I'm putting them on upside down. That would do it. I'll do it. Those are done. We need to build these now. I'm gonna double check in the descriptions here. I need the thigh. It doesn't look like I need the armor thigh bands, but I'm going to double check the gladiator destructions real quick. Sorry if the paper crinkling is getting too much. I don't think we do. No, it seems like our boy does not need the thigh armor. I think it's what they're called. It looks like his legs don't really change much at all once you build main torso up. You just put on the red parts to the gold armor. Okay, cool. Garden World. This track is called. I think the thing I would really like, and I talk about it a lot, but I would love for 30-Minute Fantasy and Bandai to just, like, release the kits to customize these more so with, like, the extra, like, red, you know, like these parts. Do, like, these in different colors. And, like, the silhouettes in different colors. I think that'd be really, really neat. Because, like, if you remember on the Assassin model, they have that separate, foot design with, like, a different sole and all that. So it'd be cool to have that available to use as well. And, like, customize your models more. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. Oh, I didn't even see that. The French pretension Evisti Volai? I don't even know how to say that. For what? Said the Gallios theory. Makes sense. I've been really itching to play RuneScape again. I might do that. Log into my old account, Docs, who I used to be. On there if I haven't changed my name already. Have people backseat game and tell me how to play the game. You know what's funny? For as much as I've played RuneScape, I've never actually done a ton of, like, the member stuff. I've always been a free-to-play player, for the most part, until, like, my adult life. And then I, like, went in and, like, still did the exact same stuff that I did as a free member, just with gold, or members gear instead. Always found that funny. Alright, let's go ahead and build these legs, shall we? I don't think we've been on now for the last, I don't know, 20 minutes it feels like. Go. These two. So we'll only go in here one way. Oh, dropped it. Been very, very sad. It's actually nice. I haven't dropped any pieces on the floor yet. Assuming that'll change here shortly. So now that I've talked about it, it's going to be like, oh, what's going to happen? Go. Because we don't need... go. Dude. know, it's a movie series I can go back and watch, like, no matter what, all the time. Indiana Jones. That's one of them. I can watch the original 3 movies almost at a drop of a hat whenever. I like those movies so much. I think that's what we're going to play on Monday. I know it didn't really necessarily run the best, but I'm going to try to mess with some of the settings after stream tonight to see if I can get it to, like, run in, like, a smaller mode and still, like, you know, just upscale the quality to make it look better. We'll see. I'm thinking that's what we'll do Monday, because I haven't had the time to go and fix the Dishonored 2 mission we were on. Dealing with the Duke. So I'm thinking we'll get that done sometime here soon. And then maybe start our Legendary run on Halo. Go through and play the Halo games on Legendary. Get our butts handed to us for a good chunk of time. But we gotta get... It's kind of crazy how much plastic these things actually do have with them. But yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense though, because it's like, how else are you going to do all this stuff? So, like, you can't have all the pieces just in a bag, you know, because you might damage some of the components. Especially with how small some of these pieces are. See here. Okay, so we gotta get you like so. You, boom, boom, boom. Ooh, that was a satisfying snap. Get in here. Same thing again. I think part of the reason too why I like enjoy these models so much, outside of the whole Bionicle connection, is they're uniform in the sense of, like, if you know how to build one, you technically will learn how to build them all. I really do enjoy that aspect of them, where it's like, it's pretty simple to pick up. They're not overly complex or complicated. A lot of it's just kind of like your own ability to snap everything together and cut things, obviously. Because, like, you could be like me and not do a perfect job on it, but, like, you don't really see the mistakes. Alright, here's a question for you guys. If you're to have a choice between 2 meals, let's say like 2 meals for dinner, what are the hardest 2 choices of food for you to pick between? Like, do you struggle with the idea of, like, picking between, like, tacos and burgers, or you struggle with the choice of, like, pizza and pasta? Stuff like that. What are the two food types that are hardest for you to pick between? Me personally, it's things like tacos, or like if I'm gonna be like between tacos and burgers, I'm choosing burgers. But between tacos and pizza, that's when I have a struggle. Because I'm like, I love both so much, and it's hard for me to choose between those two. Like pizza and burger, that's another one, because I really like pizza and I really love burgers. But you know, it's kind of one of those things, it's like, it's a thought experiment. I do enjoy kind of like giving myself to think about. It's like, oh, I wonder what other people's like hardest struggle choices are between things. Like that. We got his little booties done. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. So the silhouette is basically done, but we're going to leave it apart for now, because we're going to start armoring it up. We're going to armor it with the gladiator in mind. Looks like we used the gladiators stuff first. Yeah, so let's go. We gotta cut them both out. So go ahead and get them back onto the table here. My desk, not table. At some point, it would be really, really cool to have like a like a table set up to do this stuff on. It would be so cool. Be so nice. Yeah, one of my friends was like trying to talk to me about like sponsorships and stuff like that at work. And I was like, dude, I am not anywhere close to thinking about stuff like that right now. Like, there's so much to do with stuff like that. It's like, I ain't gonna stress about that. Well, if that ever comes up, we'll talk about it. But I want to make sure that like whatever money we do generate to that scale is used with the explicit purpose of helping us all out versus, you know, like a meeting. This looks like G1. So cautious with these pieces too. Yeah, let's see here. So we take a leg and this. So it's actually a really cool way how they do that. Look at that. What is the normal roll for? Yeah, it is D. Put on here now. I do this first on this leg this time. I want to make this screw a little bit easier to deal with. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. About 14. Oh, 13 goes on the shoe, huh? See, so we got this goes on the foot. This goes on the knee. That looks nice. So many hours listening to this song. Good grief. I'm gonna sound like a fake fan, but like I think this was like what you listened to on Karamajara when you'd go fishing. Good lord, your credits. A lot of money. Although that does kind of give me a range of... I'm still trying to figure out how to do the whole buy your own widgets credits for the chat. Channel points. I have an idea, though, too. Because it might just have to be a system we manually do. Which is fine. Soon you can buy a whole house. It would be... It weren't so easy. Were it so easy. It is so dumb trying to buy a house in America right now. It's like I get, but at the same time it's like, really? Do we have to be so stringent? I'm backwards. You know, for a while, I think the Liber Holy Knight has been my favorite 30-minute fantasy model. I'm starting to feel like it's going to be this one by the time it's all said and done. I am in love with how this thing is looking so far. Also cool, too, because, like, on the back of it, they have it with the Liber Fighter with the Gladiator upgrade, too, so it's, like, cool to see how that would look on a different model. Yeah. Check something here. Good. We are... Should probably get his weapon stuff here soon. Go ahead and start with... Because we started with the legs first, which is really, really funny to me. Go ahead and work on the arms. So it's G. It's right about that. You do need to take off those shoulders. So I have a different one you click on there. And song Scatman. Yeah, that's another question we've had here before. There we go. I don't want to go in there. Yeah, there's the arm. Very nice. There. Get these other armor out. To build the mana statue. Oh yeah, this is the guy that took over for Risk with the Risk Ring 2 soundtrack. He passed the torch on to this guy. He did a really, really good job emulating his style. And one of the things I always gave the Halo Infinite soundtrack praise for was how well those artists on that made it sound like Michael and Marty's work, like the original Halo. I know, for whatever reason, Microsoft has a stick up their ass about like letting old Bungie heads talk to the devs that are working on the Halo games. It seems like they don't want them to have like any influence over the new projects or anything like that. Like, I listened to... It's a smaller podcast with 2 Halo content creators called Warthog Radio, and they recently had Hardy. I want to say his name was John Hardy, one of the original Bungie devs that worked on, like, Halo CE. He's responsible for, like, why red versus blue is a thing in Halo. Tangentially. But, he's also, like, the multiplayer sound design lead, stuff like that. Well, I say multiplayer sound design lead. I say that with quotation marks. Because it's still technically Marty that did it. But it was him that made the push to basically get a lot of the stuff done for the multiplayer. And they had him on their podcast recently talking about the sounds of Halo, the multiplayer design, things like that, and why they went with the approach that they did on a lot of those things. It was really an insightful episode. I do recommend going to go check them out. Pretty great Halo content outside of that as well. It's the podcast called Warthog Radio. It's the 2 YouTube content creators, Liber Larden and Late Night Halo, Late Night Gaming, that host. And it's not like a weekly podcast. It's like maybe a bi-weekly, once a month podcast. No, it's been a lot of fun listening to them talk about Halo and seeing them go over like the other things and like. If you know anything about like the Halo lore and how like how they influence things, it's very clear that like after First Strike, that book, that's what all 343 Industries did for working on their games. Like they follow the same story structures like Halo First Strike does. It's really, really fascinating to see. The Roomba. And where's Dotman? He always gets this one. There's one. Look, out of principle, I'm just stopping helping you because you just have so many. Look at how long this spear is. Look how long that is. Stab, stab, stab. Do they use the same pieces twice? I think they do. Huh. That's cool, I guess. And it's also kind of lame, though, in retrospect, because it's like, well, half the reason why I bought this was because I thought it'd be a different... Oh. Anyways. Soup Dog. You missed it by... You were too early again. You'll never beat the... by 0 seconds, though. That was insane. That was truly a moment of all time. Okay, let's get these out of here. Yeah, he was not an Ewok. If he was an Ewok, he was a big Ewok. You know what it's called? What Chewbacca's race is? Ewoks are demons. Yeah, they go yap 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 yap. Ewoks are the proof to me that Star Wars was meant to be a kid's property the entire time. Which I know is like no shit Sherlock, but I'm not slander my boy Chewie like that. No, we love Chewie. It's a shame we'll never get more Star Wars movies. You know, I thought after Disney bought them, they would actually make more. I'm surprised they didn't. It's incredible salt for strength for Disney. Yes, I'm aware of what I said. It's part of the joke. Okay. Let's see here. Lord alive. Okay, do I need to change out... Oh. Does look like the helmet's interchangeable, so what we'll do... Don't fall over. Please don't fall over. I still have needed... Great needed, actually. Stay. Got Punk in their name for a reason. Yeah. Speaking of... Oh, no. Ow! Crystal Pepsi was first sold in U.S. markets in 1993. No, it was not. Sorry, Soup Dog. It was a crazy thing, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it to you. Wild. Like, I've had it before, too. And, like, it is crazy that they made it taste like Pepsi, but still being clear. Look at her boy. Look at her boy's helmet so far. Full focus. Hey. Focus on the helmet. Gonna make it. It'll be a while. Yeah, I mean, but you're almost 20% of the way there. Gotta count for something, right? Okay, so we need 20. It's 20. I think it's 2%. Yeah, I miscalculated. For some odd reason, I was like thinking 100 though, not a million. It's actually kind of weird. Oh, there's a plate that goes back there yet. This one? Is this one? Oh, yeah, that's the head. Somebody's trying to argue with me that it should be like chest, and I'm like, why would the chest be a higher damage zone than the head? Like, I get that the heart's there and everything, but it's like, your brain goes, everything goes. Right away. That friend was also really weird about, like, hyper-realism in shooters. Never guess what their favorite game is. Point is down. Hello, Fizzy. How you doing today? We're building the 30-minute fantasy new. I should say new. Emphasis on new. 30-minute fantasy Liber Swordsman. We're doing the gladiator upgrade form as well, so they get to be really snazzy looking. Okay. So let's go to the torso. We got to take off this part. Wasting disease. Chronic wasting disease. Yeah, that's what did you say? 3? Yeah, no, that's cannons. Almost had a crisis on our hands. We averted it. We ripped his core out. No, that's like it's like cow, deer. I think cows get it. I know deer get it. It's really scary if you ever see a deer with it too. They're freaking freaky. It wouldn't surprise me if that's like what inspired zombies in a way. Okay, so let's do the torso here. Do I need to want to look on the gladiator here? I do need to pop off the torso because it gets something. It gets a little scarf. That's cool. Plastic. In the DC Comics reboot, Ollie is the goat. Cool. You like my boy Wally West? Look at that. Oh, snazzy. Okay. What else do we need to do here? He apparently very broken, yeah. But it talks about like Barry Allen being really strong. Now, Wally West was freaking insane. Ooh, what car manufacturer gave away their patent for its Volvo? Yeah, because they were like, this is such a good idea to keep people safe. Everybody should have this. That's why that happened. Yeah. Like, he's not going to be able to, like... He can't be Goku. No. Power scaling is a really, really ridiculous thing, though, if we really want to talk about it that way. Because, like, power scaling in and of itself is so insane to try to, like, narrow down to compare. Because it's like, ultimately with fictional works, it's still at the behest of the author of how strong the character is. I don't know, dude. Goku is... Where Goku's at right now is freaking insane. I don't know if Wally West could compete. But, again, power scaling and, like, comparing characters' feats to other feats that characters have done in different fictional works is a ridiculous thing to even go on about as is. Because, dude, they're just... It's so nuts what these people have done. Patrick Stardust solo. Is mayonnaise an instrument? It's kind of crazy that Hallman's actually said mayonnaise is an instrument recently. Really? 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 That's what we want to go with? You want to call it an instrument? Freaking sandwich condiment, dude. You plain Mary Had a Little Lamb on it alone. No, technically you're not with, like, drumsticks either, but, like, you could, on drums, not use drumsticks, still get the... You unraveled? SpongeBob who unravel ears. You gotta be like, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's also like you're applying cartoon logic, you know? That's a whole other thing, too, in power scaling. Because that's the problem with power scaling, is, like... There's so many different universal laws you gotta take into consideration with these things, where it's like, well... Does this guy solo because of his pure strength, or just because he has cartoon force, you know? Cartoons are allowed to do ridiculous things because they're cartoons. For whatever reason, those don't look right. Get back to that, though. You gotta build these shoulders out. So G20 goes into G18. My OC always wins. Why? Because she's so cute, nobody would hurt her. Oh, my OC absolutely hates cute-looking things and will destroy her on sight because, brr, my OC is the best around. That was incredibly harsh. I didn't mean it in a harsh way. Just, you know, that's how some people get. Sorry. Like this plate goes over top like so. I know it's like I'm building this off camera, but it's such a small, intricate thing, it's hard to see exactly where everything needs to go. Looks right. That's how it's supposed to sit on here. Nah, I don't have such an OC online, but she can't find many things. So I suppose. Yeah. Oh, that is right. Just looks off in the picture, I guess. Really like it how they have the little plastic part here, like a ball joint, so it can move around in the breeze. These on here. Oh, it's really tight. I don't like how tight that is. Let's see. What do we do with the back? Seem to have anything to it. Yeah, here's backplate. Let's build that other shoulder, shall we? Oh no, not Ned. I will say the one fear I still have building these things, and I know it's not technically like an invalid fear to have, it's just like, oh, I would hate to do this right now, is because of like, I'm just dealing with like plastics and softer plastics, I'm so scared of breaking something. So I've been terrified right now. Like, I know I don't have to technically be, but I just am because it's like, golly, I don't want this to break. I feel like those are still on wrong. They are. Get them on the wrong side. And fear 2. What is the powerhouse? Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the sound of the cell. So freaking funny. Alright. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. Oop. Go over there. Alright. Here. Probably snip these free. I'm probably not going to need these ones, but you know. They look good enough. They might replace the torso I have on my female knight. I'm gonna ruffle your. Don't ruffle my hair. Don't do it. Don't you do it. I don't want my hair ruffled. Alright, stupid question, but I expect nothing less than a stupid answer. Would you guys want an Aura redeem? Is it something you guys would want to have? Like a wolf. Some weird degenerate noise like that. In short, okay. In short, I let the intrusive thoughts win. That's why I was asking about it. But no, I'm not going to do something as far as like, oh, you're so breedable and submissible. It'd be terrible. It'd be so unfortunate. It's also nice that it did that too. Or woo. Ow! Yeah. Do one of those for like 1,000. That'll work. You ain't getting it any cheaper, that's dang sure. These 2 gold pieces can sit over behind. Maybe ow. Ow! Freaking weirdos. And hey, that's... I asked. I got my answer, so I can't complain about it too much now, man. Oh boy. So we gotta clip out 17. 17 clips into the cod piece. Clear out, right? That looks like it lines up right. Right, clear out. It does. Gotta put his man chest on real quick. Look at how cool this is looking so far. I know it's kind of hard to see it against the map, but like the red right here. Come on, focus. Anyways, looks really, really sharp. I am digging this one so far. This is probably going to be my favorite one to build. You know, now that I got these here, I think these shoulders are on the wrong sides. Don't look like they fold in the right direction. This tree. Which would then explain why those look wrong. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of a close-up building here because I'm dealing with parts that I would rather not break. Hey, some Halo Reach. This is New Alexandria? Yeah, it is. Look at that. I'm like freaking dope. Just saw this post showed a video of a dog that had a malformed face captured. Would you still love this dog? I could not resonate more with the QRT. Not to be dramatic, but I'd die for this pup. Yeah. Kind of funny how we do that with like animals, but not like other humans. Like if we see a deformed, like somebody that has an unfortunate deformality of their face, it's like we still shun them for that. Like the whole Hunchback of Notre Dame movie is basically that, you know? Tragic, to say the least. But I think it's because of like whatever primal instinct of our brain that's like responsible for like the uncanny valley of survivability. It saw things that didn't look human, that were trying to be human, and like made an association in our minds to be like, yeah, no, avoid that at all costs. And I think that's a holdover in our species' minds to have aversion to things that we don't deem normal. It's like a survival thing. Body's like, no, we can't get rid of that. That's survival. But something we shouldn't probably like keep, you know? I think I'd feel bad not to try and make them feel happy. Yeah. Like, there was that post, I can't remember the girl's name, which is really unfortunate, but it was of a burn victim, I think. And people were taught, like, it was like one of those Facebook posts. I was like, oh, can we get 100 likes for this girl to let her know that she's still beautiful? And it's like, well, yeah, you could. But that doesn't really do anything for her, because she's not comfortable with how she feels. Not really helping her out. You're just using her for your own gain, which is, in my opinion, a far worse shame than most other things. Taking advantage of somebody that's not feeling good to increase your own gains is diabolical. Taking advantage of somebody when they're in their, like, in a state of vulnerability might not be the right word, but it's the one that feels right. And it's kind of funny with this kit in comparison to some of the other like armor up kits, is that this one has it where you basically still get a whole other set of the gold armor available for you. Rolls Royce. So this is the trick question. We've had it before. There you go. Let's see here. Where am I? Right. On the back plate. So you take the back plate. Go ahead and put the joints on here. Terrified of handling these things because I don't want them to break. So you take these off, and you take two of the... We might finish this one before it's too long. Still got to put it together. I think I got an action base around here too somewhere. We'll probably put this guy on and do some poses. So now we take... Of course, they have that enough to fold. I really do dig that. Yeah, here we are. And the final stretches of this guy. Look at that. Pretty snazzy. Go ahead and get the legs on here. Look at that. He can't even stand now. Okay. So on his back, you gotta take this guy with his 2 8 furls. That. And this. It's actually really cool how it like moves because it's on ball joints. I really dig that. Now we just clip this onto here. That torso forward so we can actually slot it in without causing any issues. There we go. Ooh, which of these? Yeah. Sword. These arms in now. There he is with his arms on. He's kind of got a weird lean going on, but we'll fix that later. Now we're working on his weapons. Now, take the... Oh, so if you don't want the ridiculous cape on, you can use those pieces. That's what those are for. Okay. It's like it has these two little... I mean, I just got a Vietnam flashbacks. Tale of Two Cities. Alright, I kind of want to know context, but at the same time, I'm also kind of scared to ask for context, Soup Dog. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? So gold shield goes on to this shield. So it's kind of cool. Then we take this. Little scabbard. That's cool. Alright, let's build the big sword. Purple drink lean. Oh, yeah, okay. I thought that's what you're going for. I wanted to make sure. It was a really funny story to me, but Gamer Subs had a flavor called lean. They're the powder energy drink stuff I get. They had a flavor called lean, which was like a peach iced tea. And they had the former president of the United States, Joe Biden, on the art of the jug. And they ended up getting a cease and desist letter from the United States government for using Joe Biden's likeness in that way. And they then released the bottle, or the powder jug, with a different design. And it was just Joe Biden, but with like the Groucho glasses. So like the you know, like the nose, the fake mustache, big puffy eyebrows. I always find that, I always kind of laugh at that whenever I hear lean, which is probably a terrible thing to do whenever somebody's talking about lean, but like, that's just my association with it, and it's very unfortunate. That is my immediate association with it. This is the time that Gamer Subs got in trouble from the U.S. government because they were using Joe Biden's expression. So this is supposed to... supposed to just pop out of there that easily? I guess so. Huh. Well, chat, what do you think? Golden red like this? Or just full on red? Like this. I kind of like the full on red better. I kind of like that better. I will say I am kind of disappointed because it does not want to... I guess it is a little tighter than I was thinking. Gold red IMO. Well, the good news is we can always change it out, so the gold in there. What are you thinking that? Dude's got a sword. I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll actually give him a spear. Spartans were more so known for their spears than they were much else. Their spears and big FU shields. So then this goes down here like so. So this is the scabbard kind of thing too. This little red band here. This will go. What's this even attached to? Okay, now I see what we're supposed to do. That's interesting. So, if you want to put the sword and shield on the back, see how the cape's there in the way? You can't really do that. So, what they want you to do is, if you want to have it on the back, you take off this part right here, and then use the these parts for the cape joint instead. It's fascinating. Little ribbon on the spear. Kinda neat. Oh crap, I just heard that honeybee venom can be used. Really? I mean, it makes sense, given what that stuff can do. Genuinely, but... We have this noble warrior spear. Just slightly out of frame. Sword. Dagger there. Alright. I think that's it. I think we're about done with him. Go ahead and slap his helmet on here real quick. His head. Get a shield on him. Oh, one doesn't want me to use for the shield. Hold on. Alright. There we are. There he is. The new 30-minute fantasy knight. The Liber Swordsman. There he is. Look at that. Isn't that freaking dope? Alright. I'm gonna go see... Thank you for the fanfare. Alright, so now I'm going to see if I still got one of them action bases around here real quick. I'll build that up. I think it's... I think where to put it. No, my golden hammer CDs. No. Alright, let me see if I can't find this. Ooh. Leaving Las Vegas. Also wrote an episode of Rugrats. I did not know that. How about that? There it is. All right, cool. We have action base 7. We're going to build a base real quick, but I'm going to use the restroom first. So I'll be right back. I got to use the restroom, so I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Let's go ahead and build a base for our noble swordsman, our gladiator, our champion. I'm gonna have some plastic ASMR here. Ripping that out. Now, there is something I want to check between these models, specifically this one and the Holy Knight, is I do wonder, they share the same color gold. As they do, the building potential between these figures has gone up significantly. Let's see here. We want to use... Might as well build up both of these. These are pretty quick builds. Dear. Move you out of the way. Trivia. Which of these colors is not featured in the logo for Google? Well, that one's pretty simple. Correct. You've won 150 credits. That's a new question. I haven't had that one yet. Many hours listening to this song too, because it's just going to the Grand Exchange. Grand Exchange was single-handedly one of the best and one of the worst things to ever happen to RuneScape, in my opinion. Best because it allowed you to circumvent a lot of things to get levels done quickly if you could just mine the gold or get the gold, you know, GP for it. But it hindered in the sense of like it didn't drive you to go do those things if you just like had the money go do it. It's like why follow a treasure map to get a chance to get like Guthix or Zamorak or Ceradon armor when I can just go to the Grand Exchange and buy it, you know, for chopping down magic logs for hours. You know? I don't even think magic logs is the meta anymore. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah. Trust me, I get why it was a thing. It's just one of those things. It's like, well, man, maybe we didn't lose out on something here. Oh no, not a nod. I looked for my bag, but I forgot I didn't have a bag today for my trash. It's just a box. Alright. I think we got about every piece out of here we're gonna need. Not a grenade! No! That's not a fireball. You know how the surface area of effect of a fireball is 20 feet by 20 feet? Yes. Yes, I know what I said. I cast fireball. Similar effect. Is it though? Is it though? I mean, if it was a Molotov, maybe, but like, you know, you're dealing with fragmentation in a grenade more so than you are the fiery explosion. You know? More like a Molotov cocktail than it is a fragmentation grenade, though. I mean, I know Molotov cocktail still leaves like burn, but yeah. Alright, let's build this base. Okay, so first things first, we go get this one. It's this one, okay. So first things first. To be honest, I always struggle building this part. So... dice. Use my bow and arrow to attack Savage? Why are you attacking me? 15? I don't have a character penned up. Building these freaking bases always drives me up a wall. Okay. So we need to take... Step 11. What's my AC? I'm not telling you. What's your hit? Hey, Dot. How you doing, gamer? Soup is trying to attack me right now. And 10, 11 that go together, right? Okay, yeah, there's something that goes between these two. 15 plus 5, what if I am warm? That's a good question. What if he is warm? Then what, Dotman? Then what are you gonna do? What you gonna do? Okay. We need to find the piece that goes into Swordsman here. What's this one? That's made of snow. I mean, you're made of soup. Do you like cold soup? Imagine if you like cold soup, then you could be a cool guy. But because you probably don't like cold soup, you are a warm guy. There we go. Now we can go. Do you like cold soup? Cold soup? Really? Huh. What soup? If you say melted ice cream, I'm gonna scream. And is asleep. Won't bode well for my fingers. Whoa. Hard. What is the smallest number that can be expressed by the sum of two positive cubes in two different ways? What? I mean, that was the second smallest number in that group. No. Smallest number that can be expressed as the sum of two positive cubes in two different ways. I'll be honest, it's been way too long for me to remember how to do that math. Alright, we gotta put this thing into our Liber Swordsman's butt plate. Let's go ahead and do that. There he is, on a stand. Ta-da! Look at our boy. Stand. Salvato. I thought about doing a JoJo reference for the chat, having it like a redeem or something you guys could have. I don't know if I trust you enough with that. Oh, yes. Enemy stand user can be anyone. Oh, I remember why I hated doing this part on the freaking action bases. So, it's going to be near impossible to see on camera, but it's got a nub. Focus. Hey, hands are in front of you, big guy. Focus on the hands. Focus on the hands. Fingers. Got fingies. I think I cleaned out my nails. Get in there! Goodness. There it goes. Piece of junk. Oh, of course it wasn't even far enough. This trick library. Library. single-handedly one of the worst missions in Halo of all time. I will stand on that. People slander my two betrayals. Nah, dog. Library was the worst Halo combat of all mission of all time. Oh, my model wigged out there. Lady Gaga's real name is Stefani Joanna Angelina. Hey, you made almost like a couple thousand credits today, didn't you? Two. Which? This one broke out of this one. Ah, that's where it broke out of that. And I think with that, got them done, got them built. 20,000. With that all being said and done, though, I think it's a little under 3 hours, but a little under. It's like 2 hours, 20 minutes, isn't it? I think we're gonna call it there. So, but yeah. Who was the mascot of Sega before? Alex the Kid, really? Huh. Anyways, go ahead and get to the just yapping here. We're gonna go ahead and get this show heading out for the night. I got some. We built our model. We got our guy built. He looks freaking rad. Thank you guys for showing up for this with me. We got one more we can build of the Libers before we're on to Megatron and Hot Rod. But we'll build them probably sometime soon here. I don't want to like have it be too many streams where we're doing just this stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna call it. Thank you guys so much for stopping in tonight. Even as short of a time as it was for some of you, but I am glad you chose to spend time with me nonetheless. Hope you all have a great night. I'm thinking what we'll do. One last one, of course. I'm thinking what we'll do here is I'll be in touch with you guys about the multiplayer night where we get to play together. I want to make sure it's on the time that works for everybody, that doesn't conflict with anybody else's schedule, etc., etc. So I'll keep you posted about that. The other thing too is there's one more thing I wanted to mention. Just keep me posted. We're going to be looking for more games to play. I know that Factorio was mentioned, and I think it was A Little Witch in the Woods. Is that what it was, Soup Dog? I think that was the game you mentioned. We'll look into seeing about those here soon. There's another game that a friend recommended me to try to play, but it might not be good for streaming because of just the nature of the game. So we'll see about that one. But other than that, yeah. Thank you guys for stopping in. I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you all next time. We're probably going to go live on Tuesday. Tuesday will be your next stream. Yeah, I'll see you guys then. Take care, everybody. See ya. Bye.